with Data Scientist Network, and today is our free AI everyday class, Cohort 3, part 2. So if you did not join the last class, maybe I will quickly do you a favor by some of my colleagues will already be sharing the link to the last class, where we treated insurance analytical dashboard. It's an animation dashboard that was built during our last class. So if you are among the people who missed the class, kindly ensure that you get access to the video and watch it. So today we are going to be building insurance analytical dashboard, and it's one of the area where people usually look forward to, where they can build and track their employee and be able to create good people analytics around it, so that they can create a lot of opportunity for their staff and also improve the revenue for the organization, and then retain talent, because a lot of organizations are losing out on talent due to them could be unable to, they are unable to keep track of their talent due to lack of data, lack of being able to build a good tracking data dashboard that can help them to bring insights into the analytical data warehouse. So now, some of the HR analytical tools that we have out there, some of them are actually expensive and really the high cost of maintenance actually deprive a lot of people from using them. So today, with the help of the Power BI, we are able to create a tailor our own analysis based on our requirement and be able to bring some insight around it. So I'll be putting on my screen now so that we can all see it. Okay, thank you for joining from Lagos. Let me look more from other people. Okay, Collins, you are welcome. And Nenchin Emmanuel, you are welcome. So today, before we diving into today's class that we are going to be treating HR analytical dashboard, so I would like us to be reminded of this particular Power BI implementation roadmap that we discussed in one of our cohort class, which we treated 7 implementation roadmap in Power BI. Please kindly confirm you can hear me. Let me see it from chat. If you can hear me, drop a best emoji. All right. Thank you. That's great. Okay, so let me just give you a snippet of what we are going to be building today. So today, this is what we are going to be building. We are going to be building this amazing dashboard. This is what we are going to be building today. So we are going to be looking at total hire employee from the organization, the total cost, the incur on salary, average salary, average tenure, total business unit, and total department. Then, and we also be looking at some other metrics. You speak to the active employee status, the currently active employee, the inactive employee, the reason for leaving the organization. So employee who have resigned. Group and also other information. So we are going to be building this today hand to hand. So kindly drop if you are excited about today's class, kindly drop an emoji of your choice. Let me have your thoughts. So kindly share. So I will quickly go to one aspect of today's class where Okay, my line is breaking. Okay, confirm you can hear me clearly now. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. So today, this is what. So let me show you how our today's data, how it look like, so that we can know how. So in our one of our class, I've treated how we can. Let me even be factual. In our last class, we treated how you can import data from Excel into Power BI. So today we are going to be using Google Sheets. So the data we are going to be using today, the data is in the Google Sheets. So this is the data. Data is here on the Google Sheets. So when you open it, so it's open here. So my colleagues will be dropping the link to join our AI Everyday Telegram group into the chat. So kindly join the group so that you can have access to materials, and also they'll be dropping some attendance into the group chat here. So we are going to be sending email to you on summary of the analysis, and also the material we share with you via email, and also some of the information about the material will be shared on the Telegram group as well. So make sure you take this opportunity by leveraging by joining either of the two. Join the Telegram group and also fill the attendance detail. Attendance detail, just collect your email, phone number, so that all other information about our program can be shared with you. So let me quickly show you some of the things that we have here. So this is the employee database. So we have the employee ID, we have the gender, we have age group, ethnic group, work type, business unit, cost center, which people department, and this is the remain employed. So the status of people who are in the organization who remain employed. Let me color this so that you can all see it clearly. All right. Okay, I think I'll see it now. So this is a higher date, the date that each of the employee was employed. The reason remain employed, this is remain employed. If somebody is still in the organization or they have left. So if you are an HR personnel and your data is not well structured like this, so you need to ensure that you structure your data properly so that you can bring reasonable insight out of it. So as I've said earlier, so for people who fill the form for the attendance, which capture your emails, you will get the access to the data sets and the other information. Also, people who are in the Telegram group or AIFD, we have access to some of the materials we are using. So the pay type, people who are being paid hourly and people who are being paid salary. So people who have this information about separation, people who have left the organization and people who are currently in the organization. We have the age group, we have the tenure day, we have the tenure months, the leave balance. So the tenure month is the duration in months, and tenure days in duration in days. We have leave balance. People who are yet to take their leave for the year or for that particular period, sick day last 12 months. So this is sick day last 12 months. So the current salary, the current employee rating. Each of the employee, after they did some performance review, this is their current review. So we are going to be looking at this. So this type of data, you can bring a lot of insight out of it, like you can create a lot of insight. But for today's class, we are just going to be focusing on some of the key things. Why, when I share the data with you, as part of the exercise, I'll be expecting from people who are on the call is that you should bring some other insights, create your own narration from the dashboard and bring some insight out of it. So this is how the data look like. So the link, so the color that was used, this is the website where I usually pick some of my color combination. So I will share the link to this website as well, so that when you are working number will increase. So if you want to choose the same pattern of color, you can pick it here. And if you want your color to be divergent, you can change that here. So so that's that about the color that we are going to be picking for this dashboard. And also, so let me show you some of the, so I'm very sure that a lot of us are very familiar with so I have to note people who are disturbing the class. So Tejuala and the rest, kindly share the link to the participant or the call so that they can all have access to the information we are talking about. Thank you. So let me show you how some of the metrics we can calculate by using so from this data. Let me show you. So I'll be walking you through a lot of things today, but I will just be touching some of them one after the other. So let me pick this. So as a reminder for some of us that just joined the call, so we have seven steps in Power BI implementation roadmap. The first step is extraction. We picking our data from the current data warehouse. Your data can be on your laptop, which is it can be in form of when you are extracting, it can be in Excel, CSV, or in any format that it might be. It might be on cloud, maybe on a website or SQL database and the like. So taking data from that particular place is the process known as extraction. So now, when you take your data from your domicile environment and you import it into the Power BI, you completed extraction. So now, when you are now cleaning your data, like creating column, removing null, removing not the number that are not valid, removing empty, merging your table together, you are doing transformation. So when you are done with transformation, the next thing that you do is data modeling. If you have more than one table, if you are dealing with 2, 3, or 4 thereabout numbers of table, you will need to create relationship between those tables. So when you are doing that, it is known as modeling. So I will be showing us practical example of all these things I'm saying. So when you are done with modeling, which means that when you are done creating relationship between your table, the next thing is to begin to do calculation, writing your DAX, data analysis expression, like writing your formula. It looks like calculator where you do total sum, average, and the like. So when you do all those calculations, those are the first thing that you'll be doing. And also, when you are done with that, there is a need for you to create visual, like building your charts, creating story around your charts. Okay, so that is visualization aspect. We did this steps 5. So step 6 is okay. You are now done with your dashboard. You have created all the reports insights that you want to do. The next thing for you to do is how can you share your data, share your reports so that the end user who are your manager, who are your senior colleagues or your colleagues who are meant to use the report, how are they going to have access to it? That is speaking to distribution. How you want to distribute your data. So now that you distribute your data, the people have seen it today, and tomorrow new data are coming in into your report. How are you going to update it so that they get updated about every time new data coming into the data warehouse? How can they get prompts about the new data? So, and you too, that you are doing the analysis, you cannot be going to the data all the time. What about if you are not around or you are not close to your laptop? So you need to create automation, a process whereby you set a time frame when your data is expected to refresh to pick up on new data. So that is the automation. So we are going to be going through from step 1 to step 7 today. So let me just show you some of the one or two examples of different calculation that we are going to be doing or that you can do with your power, with your reports. So, but we are going to, I will show you only only a small number of it, while I will expect you to develop more at your own convenience when you are doing your personal study. So let me open my Power BI. Okay, so this is my Power BI file that I've opened. So let me show you some of the, okay, for one of the reports. Okay, so this is the report I showed to you a moment ago. So as I've said, this is the typical report that we are going to be building in the next couple of minutes. So we are going to build this particular report. So we are going to be building this, and there are there are a few formula that we are going to be calculating. So if you are working with Power BI, there is a lot of formula you might want to calculate. You might want to calculate your active employee percentage. So active employee percentage, which is given as this formula. So I will share this file with us so that we can we can have it. So okay, let me come to this place so that. Okay, I mean, so please, if you have question, you can drop it. So I'll be picking the question up before we go into the analysis in details. Let me just have some of your questions from what I've explained so far. If you have question, kindly drop it. If you need clarity on one or two things, so let me have it so that I can begin to pick it. Yeah. I want to show some of these calculation that you can do. Yeah, I'm trying to explore the formula. Okay, let me check the question. Okay, somebody said, what can I say about Quick Sense, Power BI, and Tableau? Okay, so one of the things that will just make Power BI more, that make Power BI more resonate with people with organization now is that you can, even let me just say, and from the aspect of the learner, Power BI is easy to learn, and also the resources to learn Power BI are majorly free. Like you can use the Power BI tools, the application, the desktop application is free. You can use online service of it, like personal use. Apart from you sharing it, you can access all the activities there for free. But if you are using Tableau, you will need to have a level of subscription and organization access before you can use it. So please, can you share the data sets to practice along? So it will be very difficult to practice along, but one I will just advise that just listen, look at the way I'm doing it. Then we share the link to the video with you so that you can follow, you can recreate it. Okay, so so if you can see my screen, so this is the different calculation that you can do on HR analysis. And based on the data that we are having, these are the different analysis that you can perform on it. So I've written the formula, so I've put the documentation is here, which have all the formulas. So I'll be sharing this with us so that we can all follow along as well. So it shows the total sick days, how you can calculate the total 6 days, how you can calculate the total service tenure of employee, how you can calculate the total salary. So you can see that on the total salary, we have two type of formula there. This total salary here, the first one, it take over, this is calculating the total salary of all the employee that the organization has had since the inception of the year that the data have. But this particular total salary here is only calculating the current employee who has in the organization. So immediately you leave the organization, the total salary cost will not be included. So that's what this particular total salary cost is calculating. So also total leave balance. So it's calculate the number of days that is remaining for that number of days that we have for people to go on leave, the number of leave days that are remaining. So the total hired employees, this is the formula that was used to calculate the total hired employee. The top 5 paid employee, if you want to pick the top 5 paid employee from the organization using a measure, this is the formula that's being used to do that. So I'll be sharing that with us. And also, we have active employee. If you want to know which employee is currently active in the organization, so this is the measure that you can use to calculate this. So I'll put them together here. Okay, so we have a lot of them that I've put together, which I'll be sharing as well with us. So the data, as I've said, list of columns that we have in the data. We have the employee ID, the gender, age, ethnic group, work type, business unit, call center, hire date, and these are the, and also we have the list of columns for the dates. So I'll be starting new data now, running new analysis so that we can all follow along. Okay, so now how do they import data from Google Sheets? So one of the steps that you need to take to import our data, this is where we have our data. Our data is currently on the Google Sheet. So we want to import it into Power BI. So you need to come to transform here. When you click on transform, you come here. So okay. So when you open your when you click on transform, the Power Query editor will open. So this is how the Power Query editor is looking. So we have this, as I've said, this class, the prerequisite of this class is on our YouTube page. We have a lot of YouTube video. We teach beginner guide of how to do some of this analysis. But for the purpose, I will still be able to carry people who are just new to Power BI along. But we assume that you already know how to download Power BI. So now, how are we going to import data into Power BI via Google Sheet? So you click on web. So it's asking us to input the web URL. So you come to this place, you come to this web URL, the web page here. There is 2 things you can do. You can come to file here, come to share and publish to web. Or another thing you can do, you can click on share, copy the link that we have here. Irrespective of the condition of view, you can copy the link here. Then the next thing you need to do, come to come to the Power Query, paste the URL that you just copy. So there is something that you need to know. This particular edit, you will change it to export. You change this edit to export, and you change the UXP to format. Then the sharing, you change the sharing. It's no more a sharing, it's now XLX file. So when you are done with these three, updating these three string of line, then you click on OK. So your data will be imported into the Power BI successfully from the Google Sheet. And as your Google Sheet is updating, it will also be updating here. But you need to ensure that your data, your internet connection is on, so that it will connect, because it will use internet connection service for it to work. So now we have our data, being showing up here. So I will checklist it at the back here. This is only data I'm importing. So I click OK. So let me rename the table of this data. You can rename the table here. Employee data. So employee, why has left this here? Okay, employee data. So the next thing is to check your data. If there is a particular information that is not correct on the data that you might want to claim. So I can see that there is no error on my data. So my data has already been formatted and claimed. So there isn't much data that I need to do. But there's one thing I still need to do. My data has dates. I need to create my date table for the higher date, so that I can, this is the higher date. I need to create a date table. So for me to create a date table, so I usually import date table. I already have a script for the date table. So what I just need to do, I'll import the date table. So come to new source, come to blank query here. So it will open. So now go to this part of the file that will be shared with you is Power BI date table code. So this is a formula for it. This is a code. They call it M code. So just copy everything that we have here. Then go to your Power BI query. When you click here, you see this blinking of a line. Just click editor when that is being done. Then cancel everything that you have here, clean everything here, make sure that nothing is showing here. Then paste this one here. Then click done. So your date table will be showing here. So this is your date algorithm. So now for me to set my date table, based on what I want to do now, let me go to the higher date. I can see that my minimum date is 12/9/1966, and my maximum date is 12/3/2015. So then go to your query. So just put your date 12/9/1966. The last date. Okay, sorry. The last date is 12/30/19. Okay, 2015. So just my financial year starts on 1. So click OK. You see that it has generated the date for you. It generates a lot of dates that are a lot of metrics, date metrics that are valuable. So what you need to do now, so let me rename this particular table into dates. So this is dates. So now let me move it up here. So I like to put my data into folder so that it will make my Power Query backend to be. So I'm right clicking here, create a group, data model, so that it will make my data to be neat. So I can close, if you close it like this, you see, it make it to look neat. So if you are working for, as a consultant for organization, there is a need for your data to be clean, so that it can be more explanatory and for the people that might want to use your work. So supporting data, this was imported as a supporting data, supporting model. So I put this as supporting model. So anybody that is using it will know what it's actually meant for. So everything is done. So now I don't have anything I want to clean on my two data again. So let me close and apply. So from what we have said, we talk about extraction. We've imported the data from the Google Sheets. We've imported it into the Power BI. We've checked our data. There is no cleaning we want to do on the data. We've done transformation. The next thing we are going to be doing now is data modeling. So now our data has been imported into the Power BI again. So we've left the Power Query. So this is the Power BI interface where we are going to be working. So as we've said, data modeling is this particular page is the report page. Here is the data page, data where you fill your data as a table. Here is where you would create your relationship with your data modeling page. So so this is your, so I want to create relationship between my data. So you can create relationship by dragging this particular one to this one here, by dragging this table to this particular. So you need to look at the matching, the matching table. In the table, there is something we call identify ID. So the ID that actually match with each other. So you use it to create the table. So for you to see clearly of what I'm saying, so come to manage relationship. When you come to manage relationship, this is where we create relationship. If you don't want to use this shortcut that we are using there, so come to new. So let me click here, employee data. So this is my the date. So if you look at it, that this is the date, higher date is the relationship, the higher date and the date here. These are the only two things that make the table to have interaction, that create relationship between the two. I'm going to checklist that. So in either of the way, you can drag your dates here and create relationship, or you come to manage relationship to do your relationship. So we are done with that. So we are now coming to this particular page here. So one of the things that you are going to be doing here is to write your calculation, writing your measures. So from what I've said, we have a lot of things that we are going to be calculating. We are going to be calculating our total hire dates. If you come to this particular, let's look at our data once again. You can see we have employee, gender, age group, and a lot of data that we have here. So we are going to be calculating their measure so that we can create the visual that's actually matched for them. So for me to create the measure, I don't want my measure to be hiding inside each job. Let me show you an instance of it. So let me write it for the total hired employee. So the total hired employee, total hired employee is equals to so I want to use count rule. It will count the number of rows that we have for the employee record. Count rule, employee, you count employee data. So we can, so let me drop this. You can click your measure here. This measure that we are going to be using. Okay. So I already hide to. So you can see the way we are looking for this particular measure that we just calculated now. I don't even know where it's falling, so this is where it is now. We're looking for it around. So before we can find it. So to mitigate this type of situation whereby you'll be looking for a particular measure that you created. So that is the reason why you need to come to your home. You create a folder where all of your measures that you're going to be calculating going to be domiciled. So now I'm going to use click enter data here. When it's open, where we have table, you can name it as the folder name is what you are going to name it. On my own here, I'll be naming it key measure. Is what I'll be naming it, key measure. I'll be naming it key measure. So this is the table here now. So key measure. So let me move. So in case you want to move this particular calculation here into the key measure table, click on it here. Then come to home table. So you see home table. You see the measure name here. Click on the drag on the icon here. Then move it to key measure. So if you come to the key measure, you can now see it here. So I'll be deleting the column 1 that is showing here, but you need to have a measure there before you can delete it so that it will work. So let me look for delete from the model. So immediately you delete it from the model, it will come up. You can see it now. It has come up here now. So this is where we are going to be having all our calculation that we are going to be calculating. So the next measure we are going to be calculating, let's calculate our total salary cost. So I'm going to be using total salary cost. This is equal to sum of our employee current salary. Let me just type current salary. So, but before that, I want to expand this particular workspace. I want it to be wider. I don't want to use the current format. So I can come to this place to format report page, come to page information, come to background here. Sorry. Okay, no. Let me come to, canvas settings. So I want to increase this particular number. So let me check the number that I can use. I want to increase it so that so I will be changing this to 1,200. Then I'll be changing this to 1,980. So immediately you do that. So you can see that this has become more wider. See, so I'm duplicating this so that I can use it to so now we've calculated total hired employee. So the next thing we are going to be calculating, so we've calculated the total salary cost. So I'll be dropping it here. So they are all showing here now. So the next thing I want to be calculating is the average salary. So let me click here, average salary. So just like our normal usual Excel, so our average salary is calculated like average salary. You just type your average sum of current employee salary. So yeah, drop that here. So you can see that has been dropped here. So let me read it. So the next thing that I want to calculate the average tenure. Average tenure here. So if you look at our table here, let me come to this place. So if you look at this is the tenure. This is tenure. I want to look at what's the average tenure across all boards. So that's what I want to calculate now. So which I'm going to be using, but for I can use the average formula directly. Average tenure is equal to average so what I'm going to be using the average tenure. So I want to use average tenure by year. So let me just do it. So there is two things you can do. You can first of all calculate your total employee days, but I want to skip that procedure. So I'll be using divide directly. Divide average tenure, which is employee tenure, employee days. So we know that the number of days that makes a year is 365. So I'll be dividing it by 65. Divided by 365 over 0. So I think I have a lot of questions. All right. So that has been done. So now we've calculated the average salary. So the next thing we are going to be calculating, calculate the average salary, average tenure. So let's calculate our total business unit, the business unit. So if you look at our data here, the business unit that we have, let me look for it. Okay, this is the business unit. We have our current expansion is across Abuja, Delta, Enugu, Ilorin, Kaduna, Kano, Lagos, and Oyo. So now we want to put it into we want to be able to track that. So what we need to do, let's count it, but we need to use this thing count so that, so we call it total business unit. Total business unit, which is equals to this thing count of business unit. So that's that. So the next thing we are going to be calculating the department as well. The number of department that we have. We want to see the current number of department expansion. So we have all a total department. Per department is equal to this thing. So cost center, okay. Cost center. So on the data, they call the department, if you look at it, the department where we have, that's where they call cost center. So that's why I use department there. So you should note that. So let me drop some of these things here. We have total hire, salary, average salary per day. So per year, average salary, sorry. So the next thing is average tenure. Let me drop the average tenure here. Average tenure. Then the next one, total business units. Then the next thing I'm calculating here is total department. So, sorry, I put, what I put here. So that's what we have here. So now that we've calculated that, so let's look at our employee status. We have employee, if you go to employee status here, we have employee that are, when we come to, okay, this is the remain employee. So you look at what this is speaking to is that, is this employee currently in the organization or no? So you can see that remain employee, something like that. So it means yes. If no, that means it's no more active in the organization. So how can we calculate that? So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So we have, so I'm going to be doing that now. So total, so active employee. So I want to calculate the active employee. So let's look at this here. So let me pick new measure. So let me teach you guys one cheat. There are some functionality in PowerBI that people don't use. So this particular total employee, some measures in PowerBI, like this particular one that you're seeing here, you can calculate the total employee without writing any code. So this is how you will do it. You come to go to this particular one. Go to new quick measure. New quick measure, select calculation. You want to use filter. Click filter. Then put your count. Which one do you want to use to count it? Total IAS, yes. Click that. So on the filter pane here, look for which column do you want to filter? You want to filter remain, where is it? Remain employee. So when you click it, so which one do you want to look? Like I want to filter people that are currently active. So you click yes. So the Power BI will write the formula for you. So I don't know if, so can you see it now? Power BI has put down the formula for, so not all the time you write formula in the Power BI. So there are some quick measure you can use. Total, okay, let me just say active, employees, active employee. So if you want to calculate for the inactive employee, so you don't need to stress yourself, just copy what we have here. Then go to measure again. Go to measure again. Go to new measure now. Don't go to quick measure. Since you already have what you want to use, don't put this one here. Just change the yes to no. It will pick inactive. Inactive, people who have left the organization. Inactive employee, active employee. So that's, oh, okay. Yeah, this I hope we are all enjoying that. So the next thing, we are doing here is to calculate, let's calculate the people who left the organization voluntarily and involuntarily, people that the organization sacked. So let me show us how the data look like. So this is separation. Can you all see it? And there's one thing I want us to look into here. We have employees who have left the organization and people who are currently in the organization. So now I want us to calculate this based on people who have left the organization, because it's not going to make sense if we create a calculation to filter voluntary like the way we did for active and inactive. It is not, if we use that formula to calculate this, it's going to be wrong. It's going to be wrong. So there is a need for us to calculate the total number of data information that we have here. And we now make it to consider only people who are no, who have left the organization. So when we now filter by no, we're now going to filter by on what condition do they leave? They leave voluntarily or they left involuntarily. So we are going to use calculate, which one of the powerful tools in Power BI. So now, this is what I'm saying. So kindly ride with me on this journey of writing this. So we write new measure. So voluntary exit. Voluntary exit. So now what we need to do, we type your calculate. So you can apply this into different contexts if you want to do as well. It's not all, but just understand the formula. Let me take this one here so that I can use it as a comment for you. So calculate, what do we want it to calculate? We want it to calculate total, want to get the total employee, total hired employee. I want to get total hired employee, but I want you to, so you can see if you are looking at the top here, we have our expression is total hired employee, which is what we are expressing our mind that it should give us total hired employee, considering the filters that we want to write now. So I want it to filter. I want it to filter all my table. Filter all my table. Then it's now asking me that all your table, which column in your table. So the column I want you to filter is remain employed, yes or no. That particular column that has that. I want you to filter that column. So what should I now look for in that column? So in the employee remain employee column, look for, so let me bracket this. I need to put this into brackets because all has been applied to this. So I want you to look for where we have no, which means that the employee is no more in the organization. So that's what this is looking for. If we filter all the database, then the next thing is that after you've seen a particular column that has no, now go to this second table. What is wrong with ABS? Why are you coming to our work? So go to the second table. So this is second filter I want to apply. So let me copy. It's almost the same formula approach. But this one is just that we are considering another thing. So now go to employee where we have separation. It's no more going to remain. I'm going to separation. Where we have separation, go to where we have separation. Then in the separation table, count the total number of, go to separation and pick where we have this. Let me write this. Separation. So where we have voluntary, people who left voluntarily. Voluntary. You need to make sure that the spelling is correct, so that it's the same thing with what you have in your table, in your column table. I will show you, just chill. So you close this, then our formula. So now what this means is that, let me zoom it up. So what this is saying is that want to calculate the voluntary, people who left voluntarily, but before we can count it, we need to understand that they are no more active in the organization. And when they are no more active in the organization, then count the total number of voluntary only. So now that's what the formula I've done here. So let me copy this and save it. So the next thing I'm going to do, let me calculate for the people who left involuntarily, that they have to pursue them for the leave. Yes. So now we are going to click involuntarily, voluntary exit. So what you just need to change here is the same condition apply. Just need to change this one to involuntary. Voluntary. So that's that. How to use double filter to pick, like setting two conditional statements. So this is what we have done here. Just like a recap, we've come to the employee, we filter, just like when you are using a Z, you filter, first of all, you filter no. And you filter no, you can see that it shows that you filter 1907 filter row. Then when you filter row, you now say, okay, come to separation, filter only voluntary for me. Sorry, involuntary. It gave you the answer. You see now go again, writing the same script. Filter only involuntary. You understand? So that's what we've done. Okay. Selector. Let me check all these back. Okay, so the next thing we are going to be calculating, we want to calculate hourly and the amount we spend on salary. So before that, we want to look at how many of our employees are on pay, who are on salary, and people who are on hourly pay. So that's what we want to do now. And that is pretty simple as well. You can calculate it, either of the two. It depends on what you want to, insights you are looking for. I just want to look at the gross hourly pay and also the gross salary pay. So I'm not checking if they are active or not active. So I've shown us how to use quick measure. Let me show you how to use normal calculation as well without using quick measure. So let me write this. So hourly pay is equals to, so we just use calculate total hired employee, but filter employee table, which is employee data. Then select in the employee data, select employee column, which is called pay type. So let me just type pay type. It will help me find this pay type. Let me look for it. Pay type ahead. You've seen it. All right. So now when you go to the pay type, in the column of that, help me to filter hourly. Hourly. So now you put all, so that has been calculated. So you don't need to stress yourself. So let me make my measure to be clean so that you can see the step that we've taken here. So let me copy so that I can replicate for the second one. So now I've done this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to calculate people who are being paid on salary. So let me put another measure here. So let me just put salary here. Salary. So just change the, since there are two here, just put salary. salary. So most of the things we are calculating can be the same idea applicable to other kind of analysis. If you want to filter by what is in the cell of the column, so you use the same approach. So that's one of the objectives of the lesson. It's not only to learn about HR analytics, what are the measures, but how can you replicate the measures across all board. So we've calculated that. So some of the things that we've calculated, we are able to calculate, let me check what we calculate. So we have this, so what other thing do we, okay, we almost calculate, okay, let's calculate our total leave balance, and also let's calculate our sick days. Let me come to the table so that we can see what I'm saying. So this is it here. So let's calculate our sick days, the total sick days by days. Let's look at our employee, how are they, like what is the sick day, how does it, what is the frequency fluctuation of it, what is the common pattern we can see from there, and also let's look at our total leave balance so that we can know that our employee are going on leave. How many days are we going to meet in the organization? So let's go to measure once again. So all these ones are pretty simple, just like we are just using some. So total leave, total leave balance, total balance is equals to leave. Oh, no. Okay, calculate that. So let's calculate our total sick days now. That's 6 days. So we use sum as well to calculate our total 6 days. So now what we are now going to do, so we have calculated all our measure. So we calculate all our measure. So these are all our measure we have now. So one thing I still want to show us that I want to ensure that my report is formatted in a way that I would like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, well, I might not be able to, due to limited time, I might not be able to walk you through the procedure of how that was created, but I will show you some example, just with people. So this is the I've built my background, how I want my background to look like. I've built it here using just like when you start building your dashboard in Power BI, you need to have what is the design you want to do. So so let me show you just simple one of the approach that I use to create this. So what you need to do is just a simple insert. If you look at this is a curve. This is a curve shape. So I just pick the shape. Oh no. So I just pick the shape. I pick this shape, particular shape. Then it was used here. Just use here. So just use here. So it was just like you are doing. This was done here. This was done here. So the next thing, just like this. So this is a PowerPoint. This is a PowerPoint. It's something very simple that we can all do. So you can do your own decoration too. So just use this. Then come here too. So then so just imagine how you want your work to look. So the tip here will make your work to so you copy. So the next thing you need to do so if you look at this, you can see that it's resembling it a little bit by bit. So let me just another thing that I have to do is just to put the color, to format the color. So I have the I'm just trying to pick the color that I use here so that it can be a replica of that. So just go to format here, check the color. I have the color here already, so I might just use the color directly. So let me just replicate it. Format. So it's something pretty simple like that. So this other thing. Okay. Okay. So, but let me change the color of this one to so something like this. And if you look at this particular one that I did here, it was just this. I drop a shape. I come to this shape. Where is this? There's something they call donut shape. I can't find donut shape again. Okay, this is it. This donut shape. I just make it to be like this. I can increase the size from here. Increase it. No. Or then take it to one angle. Then you crop your image. You import your image from wherever you have your image. Picture. So in my own case, what I did was this. I look at this picture, I crop it. I first of all crop it. So when I crop it, so the next thing I did was I now crop it to shape again. Crop it to shape. Then I look at the size of this. The size of this, the size of this is 0.4 is 0.4. Let me change it to 0.5 is 0.5. Then I will now change this one to something 0.4. So you can see that there is no magic there. So that's how this one was done. But one additional thing that I forgot to talk about is this particular one here. I right click, come to format shape. I go to this particular one here, shadow. I click on presets. I use the outer one there. Also on this shape as well, I click this so that it will give a shadow color, and that was that. So the next thing is all these things were tests. So instead of coming to my dashboard to write the title, what I've done here, I just calculate. So what I've done here is to just type my heading. I type everything. All these things are tests. You can see it. Yeah, test. I type it here. I type all the way I want my report to look. I type everything. This particular one you are looking at here, it is just a shape. So I know that my filter will be around here. So I just use it to show where my filter button will be we lay into. Then this is the icon for Twitter and LinkedIn. So it was imported. So it was imported. It was grouped with a background. Let me show you that. I'm just showing you, like, it's not actually necessary much like that, but just for you to see. You see, I put a shape, then I layer this on it. So it's very simple. Similar to all of these two, they are in the same scenario. So you can import your icon. For majority of you that might want to get icon, you can come to a search, come to icon on PowerPoint, then you see a lot of icons. You can see all the icons here. You can type people. You see people. You see the one that I use. You see them here. You can type analytics, different analytics. So you can see different icon that you can use. So when I do that, or I point them here. So like this one now, I import this, and I merge this one together. They are in separate, so I group them together to convey the information I want to pass across. You can see them here. So when you are done doing your putting this report together, like doing the way you want your report to look like, the way you want it to be here, like after you are putting down all your measures. So the next thing is you have designed the way you want your Power BI layout to look at. Like when you have designed that in your PowerPoint, then what you need to do, you go to file. When you come to file, you come to save as. When you come to save as, you now come to this file type. You click scalable vector, which is SVG. SVG to help you to have a tool. Whenever you extend it, it will still remain the graphic will still be the way you have it when it was small. So when you want to save it, it will ask you all the slides or just this one. So you click just this one. So I'm clicking just this one now. So I've clicked that. So let me check the folder that I have it so that I can show us. So this is how it will look. This is it, SPG. This is how it will look. It will look like this. So the next thing I need to do, I go into my Power BI. I go and so make sure you are on the normal page. So come to format your report. Come to canvas background. Come to browse. Then you click on browse. You see employee analytical that we had saved just now. Then I will import it. Then if you transparency, you turn it to 0. You can see the way it looks. The next thing is if the image fit it here. You can see that the dashboard template has been in a format that we want it to look. So the next thing is to format all our data that we have here. So that's what I'm going to be doing now in the next couple of minutes. So you need to go to your callouts and your format visual. So I want to change this. I want to change it to 45. It's already in 45. Then the next thing I want to do, I want to make sure that the background is not showing. Let me go to background. Okay, no, effects, turn off the background. Then the next thing I want to do, I want to change the color to white. Then the label category, I want to close it. And this particular total hired, I want it to use this. I want to ensure that it follows some formatting. So which one I've done here. So I put it here. I'm putting it here. Okay. So I will click format. So I don't want to repeat the same process. Okay. So here is this. We have this. We have this. We have this. So I mean, resize this. So I'm taking them down like this. I want to use one sheet like that. Okay. So for this particular one, I want to format it to be in thousands, and then so let's come to displays. In the display unit, it should be in thousands, and also decimal. No, I want it to be like this. So I think that is only one. Then this total cost here, I want it to be there as a dollar. So I want it to be as a dollar. If you look at it here, it's showing some decimal points. So I will change that. I change that here. I change that here. So I've done that. So this one too, I want to make sure that average salary, it shows in dollars as well. So so let me click everything that we have there. So I'm clicking. Okay, hold on. This one is too wide with coverage. So I've selected everything. So I come to format, come to align, then align to the top. So all of them are aligned to the top. So you can still use distribute horizontally. So this shows this. Okay, so now that we have this, so the next thing we need to do, we need to write our, I want to put my title. So you can come to insert, come to text to write your title. Like in terms of type, you just need to type it. So total hire employee. So it is I use 14 bold, then I remove the background. So you don't want it to have background. So you see background is turned off. So I'm going to do that rapidly so that we save more time. So okay. So now that we are done with that, so this particular place, I want it to have so this particular place, this one is indicating employee status. This particular place indicating employee status. I want to put reason for leaving. I want to put it here, and I want to put pay type. I want to put the statistics that measure that. That's what I want to drop here. So I can see employee status, reason for leaving, and pay type. So if you remember vividly, for one of the things that we calculate is that we calculate the total active employee, we calculate the inactive employee, and also the involuntary and involuntary reason of leaving. So those are the things I want to be calculating at this aspect here. So these are the things I want to calculate. I want to calculate the active, inactive, voluntary, involuntary, hourly paid, and people who are on salary pay. So first of all, let's look for the card. So don't let us pick a new card. Since we already have this one being formatted, let's duplicate it. Let's take it to this particular site. But one thing that we are just going to do here is that we need to reduce to ensure that the data is formatted like in terms of size. This one also, but let me look for active employee. Let's drop active employee here. So active employee, but let's format it. Let's use 38. So we have active employee. So active employee. So copy. So yeah, undo. So okay. So inactive employee. So let's look for the inactive employee. Inactive employee. I drop them here. So while we having, okay. So inactive employee. So let's go to employee, the status for the employee. We're having empty there. Remain employed. So it's supposed to be no. But if you look at what we have here, it's showing blank. It's showing blank. Reason being that instead of us to use inactive employee, to use no, we use in. So I just want you to see one of the things that can happen when you mistakenly don't use what is in the column of that table. So you see now that we've used it, that has been updated and to work automatically. So, but let me come to active. All right, okay, I can see columns. Wow, yeah. I saw what you said at that time, Susha. So I don't need for the people who might be confused in terms of not taking cognizance of that. So for the active, let me format this so that, okay, for the inactive, format this too. So for voluntary, take this one here. Voluntary as well, let's format it. So somebody is asking, what is the most important stage in Power BI? One of the most important stages, you need to understanding your data is one of the important things. Then the one created stage by stage. Let's say from stage 1 to stage 2 is the problem. So another thing is when you need to know if you have more than 2 or 3 tables, you need to know how you are going to create your data modeling. Your data modeling is going to affect your results that you're going to be getting. So every stage is critical anyway. And every stage is critical. So you need to, it's not only average, you need to be very good in most of it because you are compiling information that are very important to an organization. So involuntary. So most time you need to work based on the objective that you have. Every data has a lot of insight that you can bring from it, except in a position where you are being told to just do a freestyle. Like, okay, just do anything you can see on this data. You can do as you like. But when you have a strictly objective, you need to work toward that objective. Salary. Okay, let me drop salary here. So we have this. Let's align horizontally and align to the top. So we have this pin align. So the next thing that we want to do is to create our chart here. So let's look at the total hire employee by gender. We've not discussed anything about gender since. So let's look at the total employee by gender. Okay, I can find them here. So total employee hire by gender. So you can see that here. So we are going to need to do some formatting on it. So these are the few formatting that that was done on the previous one. I removed these, then I close the legend, then I come to slicer. Let me come to, apart from slicer, let me go to, first of all, go to the label, when I come to the color. So with the data value here, I make it be all details, then data label, the value to be colors. So I think I put this on to 12 so that it can be visible enough. Then I format this one to be, let it be null, but most importantly, this one should be no space. Let me put this one in K, 1000, so these are the things that was done here. Okay, so if you remember, I talk about color picker. So I'll be picking my color from this website. Let me look at. So let me pick this. So male, let me choose color here. So color here. So for this other side, I'm duplicating this and I'll take it to this side too. So I will use this for age group. So let me come to this place. Let me drop age group here. So renaming the age group so that it's have a space. So now let me work on the color for that. So the next thing I want to do here, the title page. So total, okay, the title page already there. So we just need to make it be white. Then I think I bold this So this one to bold and make it be white. So next thing is to do, let me come back to this particular one. The value. So the rotation. So if you use the rotation, that's one of the things that PowerBI did that makes sense. If you rotate this, in case a particular number is not showing very well, you can rotate it, then it's going to show. So we have this now. So total hired, we've done it. So let me look at why this one is showing 2 decimal places. Okay, so I think we are fine on that aspect. So the next thing I want us to do is we want to draw our, want to look at the trend. Want to plot the trend, just look at the total hire by date, see how the organization has been hiring, the turnover. So I'm putting this one here. So let's pick dates. I'll be dropping dates here. Dates, the total hired. So I'll remove the background. Okay. So I'm changing this to white. So I'm going to the title to show that this is bold and white. So I'm coloring this. Let me duplicate this. So I have this. So what I just need to do here, just change the, instead of total hire, I want to look at the total sick days. So one last thing, I check the color. So at times searching for things always been very stressful. I can just type it here and pick this one for this one, and then pick this one. So we are done. We are, let's say, 70% done. So the next thing I want us to do, I want us to pick the table that we are going to be using for our analysis. So let me use matrix. Matrix always save space. So let me put it here. Yeah. You are going to have access to the recording. So now the next thing we need to do now is to bring all our data here. So cost center, which is the department, cost center, drop it here. So the next thing, okay, let's drop inside our file, let's drop our total hire. That we're going to be doing it, just store total hired. tired, active employee. Let's look at active employee. Active employee. Then let's look at pay hourly. How many of our staff do we pay hourly? How many do we pay salary? So when we look at that, let's look at the how much is total salary that we are able to pay. Total salary cost. Then let's look at what is the average salary. Average salary cost. Okay. Then let's look at the average tenure in years. Like what is the average by each of the departments? Average tenure. Don't be at the top here. Yeah. So the next thing, let's look at total leave balance. Total leave balance. So this is amazing. So let's now work on formatting. So go to style presets. First of all, on my own style, depending on your how you want to do it. I'm first of all using no. So then the effect here, I'm taking away the background. So I've done this successfully. The next thing I want to do is to go back to there's a column heading, the header of this column. I want to let me think of the size I can use. Let me make it bold down. Maybe it's on 15 bold. Okay, sorry. I'm going to use white. The background, let me account with this. So the next thing I want to do, I need to format the values. Value wise, background. So I don't need to do anything on the background. Anything, let me make this anything to be right. Alternating text color. Let me check this one. This one should small. Let me check this one. So the next thing is I've done column heading. Okay, still under this one. Let's increase the size. Let me take the size to 15 as well. So what I need to do here, so this wrap text, okay. Okay. Hourly. Okay, let me rename this. Let me change this hourly to pay hourly so that when people are reading it, they can be resonate with it. Pay hourly. Pay salary. Okay. So the next thing, the subtotal of the subtotal. So I'm taking all of that out. So I'm taking this one out as well. So I'm trying to readjust the space here so that you can accommodate some other important information on a glance. Employee, okay, let me do hourly pay too. So we now have everything on a single page. So this alternates is to brown. So this one we have now. Let me check my column header. This my column header is to black. So black. So this is what we have now. So all these, I don't know. You can format this. You can format this as well. Format all the figure here. Total employee hire. You can, if you want to do formatting like that, you can come to click file here. Come to file here. This drop down here. You see conditional formatting. You can see data. So when you click it, you see different color that you can pick. Depending on the color you might want to use to do your formatting. Let me pick a color that. So it will populate using bar. So let's look at the active employee conditional formatting. I will use different ones so that I want to use icon in case of people that might want to use, like now for my own icon, I can use for the minimum percentage. Let me use red that is coming down. For the one that is on the average, let me use this. For the one that is have high number of days of employee, let me use this. So this is how it will come out on your report. You see, this is how they do it. So let's do it for this particular one too, for total leave balance. Total leave balance. Okay, sorry. Total leave balance. Additional formatting. Okay, no, it's not you. Additional formatting icons. So let's pick it. I can choose anyone you like. See that, but there is something I want us to see. It is coming at the back of the text. So what you need to do if you want to change it, you'll come to conditional formatting again, come to icon. So instead of you making it, you need to look at icon layout. So you want it to be at the right of the data. Icon alignment, do you want it to be at the middle or at the bottom? So at the top. So this is the style that will be coming out. That's what those other things that are there, that's what they are doing. You can see now that it's now at the right hand side. So let's take this one from that is currently at the left as well. Let's go back to conditional code to come here. Let's take it to the right of the data. Then we click OK. Then we have that. So let me adjust this one here. Oh, salary, total salary cost. Where are you? Total salary cost is having a lot of decimal. Okay. All right, it's now proper. So average salary, let's do for average salary. Additional data bar. So we have this. So we have done this. So so we might want to change for the tenure as well. So for the tenure, conditional formatting. So I'm picking the color. So we have a few minutes. Wow, we are right on time. So this is what we have for this. So let me change the general. Let me see if I can create font as well. Okay. So the last thing that we are going to be doing today is the filter. I want to set up the filter button. So filter. So I'm putting filter here. So what do you want to filter your report with is what's determining what's going to be here. So I want to filter the report by, I want them to be able to select active, which is the employer. Do we have who is currently active in the reason for the remain employed? So just like a question, tell me format it, come to event, background, title. So active. Do we see how many employees do we have active? So I left that as a question tag that dashboard was supposed to track. So the next thing is I want the value to be white. Then the slicer background, let's make it with this. So I'll say this. This is what I want to click. I want to make sure that it drop down. So auto report. So now I have it as a drop down. So this heading that is showing here, I want to take it out. Slicer head. So I'm taking it out. So you have this. So you can select yes or no here. Before that, let me check my value color is put. So I'm duplicating it so that I can use it. So this is what I've done. So let me come to property. What I want to do is that I want to use this space very well. Let me use 136, so it become wider. Let me use 138. Let me try 140. 140 is still not bad. So I will change everything here to 140. You see that they all come wider. Yeah, 140. Yeah. So the next thing we need to do is let's click it, then left format and align the data. Okay, left align to the top, then left align distribute horizontally. So you can see that everything is now equal. So now work type, let's look for the work type. Let's drop work type here. So for this one, let's drop separation reason. Separation reason. For the last one, let's choose the part business unit. So in case you want to look at how our business unit is trending. So let me click this. So I'll be renaming the heading. Yes, unit, business unit, separation reason. Then here we have work type. So this is what we have now. So these are our dashboard. So when you are done working with your dashboard, you can interact with it to see statistics, see how everything. So one last thing you can still do, I want to create a web link whereby when people click it, maybe they like a Gmail or anything, you can just come to research, create a button, come to blank here, then you can put it here, I'll put it here. So just create an action. I want it to be a web URL. So when they click it, maybe they follow me on Twitter or anywhere, you just drop it there. So this is my own Twitter, so I just drop it there. And if you want it to, if they hover around it, if you simply get to follow a link, but if you want to change that to something that personify, so I'll change this one to click here to connect with me. Maybe you click here to connect with me on Twitter. So if you go back there now, you see that it's not showing click here to connect with me on Twitter. That's what it is showing. So let me duplicate that. So there's one last thing. So one last thing that I want to do. Okay. I want us to, okay, let me just remove the border. Okay, the border is no more there. Okay, sorry. I mean, if visual border is not there, okay, it's fine. So that is that about this. So if anybody click it, it will take them to, let me change the URL for this. So this one, so I'm changing the URL of this one. Then I change the comments of this one to, so we are done with what we want to do now. I'll look at it. So if we want to publish, so the next thing to do to publish is to, let me reduce this particular one that's showing here. So we have this, then you click save, you save your work. So HR dashboard, AI Everday. So I've saved my work. Then the next thing is to publish. You come home, then you click publish. So you need to enter your email. So I'm signing in. So where is the network? Okay. The network somehow. Let me save it and open it again. Okay. You already even asked me to sign in. What's wrong with it? Sorry, trying to rectify this network. Okay. So it has logged in. So we cannot see our report now. So if you want to publish it, you can come to this place, come to embed, publish to web. You can ask you this question, click to publish, then you can paste it here, you can fill it here. So this is what we have built. So this is what we built. So we are going to get the file. So let me take your questions as we round up the class. But this is just the process of how everything is done for HR analytics. So in the next class, we are going to be looking at another case study. So kindly drop your message. So I'll be picking the message from you. Yeah, if you don't have organization email, another way to do it, there's still some other way to do it. There's still some other way to do it. You can see, so not some of our YouTube video has how to get your own email address using Microsoft email. There's a way to generate it online. You can just search. You see a full guide on how to do that. Maybe what we are going to do, maybe when we are sharing the material, we can look for some of our content that talk about that. Then we share it for everybody so that we can leverage that. Do you have any other question? All right, we're already behind, so you can join the our Telegram group, and if you sign up on the email the form that was shared to document the attendance, you are all going to be contacted and share all the report that was used during the presentation. You will share with everybody. So thank you for joining this class. So seeing you in our next 2 weeks class that we are going to be treating another session of the class. So Power BI, the latest version of Power BI is what I'm using. Educhi, your comment is funny. So see you guys next time. Bye.